Thank you, Chair. I'm speaking on behalf of Pakistan and not Norway. But allow me, Chair, to start by also paying tribute to a great champion of UN peacekeeping, Boutros Ghali. We offer our condolences to his family and friends and recall his stellar services to the United Nations, which have left an indelible mark on this organization. Mr. Chairman, we align ourselves with the statement made by Morocco on behalf of the non-aligned movement. Our deliberations in the Special Committee on Peacekeeping Operations assume special significance this year. Member states have before them the task of concluding the work initiated last year by the Secretary General's high-level panel on peace operations and his own report on implementation of the panel's report. 2015 was a year of reviews. 2016 should become a year of decisions and implementation. As a leading troop contributor, Pakistan's long-standing commitment to peacekeeping continues. We have equally played an active role in its norm setting. We have a significant stake in its success. Our peacekeepers have maintained the highest standards of performance wherever they have been deployed. As firm reiteration of our abiding commitment, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif co-hosted the Leaders' Summit on Peacekeeping last September and announced additional pledges to support future endeavors. We consider our role a concrete contribution to the maintenance of international peace and security, one of our principal responsibilities here at the United Nations. Mr. Chairman, briefings by the Secretariat have provided a solid basis for us to build on. They have helped us identify accomplishments, challenges, and gaps. The norm setting we are collectively undertaking here will guide this flagship enterprise of the United Nations for years to come. It will have an impact not only on peacekeepers on the ground, but also on the UN's ability to play its role effectively in the face of new challenges, emerging threats, and the changing nature of conflict. Indeed, on the success and failure of UN peacekeeping in the future. This process therefore needs careful consideration and thought. Our report has to be based on the review reports, our deliberations in this committee, and experiences of troop and police contributing countries. Allow me to share our views on some of the issues that we will be assessing over the next few weeks. UN peacekeeping works best when there is a peace to keep. Its success hinges on having a robust political track that leads to political solutions. Increasing the Secretariat's capabilities in the field of prevention and mediation will enhance its conflict prevention role and thus aid peacekeeping. The goal of protection of civilians is best served by preventing the outbreak of armed conflicts in the first place, addressing the root causes of all conflicts, and finding inclusive political solutions to disputes. Strengthening conflict prevention is a strategy that would lead us to sustainable and enduring peace and security. Notwithstanding the evolving nature of conflict and the multidimensional approach that the UN has adopted and adapted to address complex crises, the basic principles of peacekeeping, that is the consent of the parties, impartiality, and non-use of force, except in self-defense and in defense of the mandate, all remain essential for success. The broad support, legitimacy, and credibility that UN peacekeeping has come to enjoy over the years are predicated on these very principles. Pakistan, as one of the world's top troop contributing countries, has proudly and conscientiously undertaken the task of proactively protecting civilians when mandated by the Council, including in current missions in the DRC, Darfur, Côte d'Ivoire, Central African Republic, and Liberia. We have demonstrated that this can be done by a robust deterrence posture and without the actual resort to the use of force. UN peacekeeping is fundamentally different from peace enforcement. This distinction must be maintained. Venturing into gray areas would confuse the mission, erode the neutrality of peacekeeping, and undermine its reputation and success, besides imperiling the safety and security of peacekeepers. DCCs and PCCs need to be fully and formally consulted on decisions about mandate formation and change. They are the principal stakeholders, and their continued absence from the table is frankly inexplicable and unacceptable. Their input can only empower us to fully achieve the agreed mandates. A two-phased approach, as proposed by the panel, deserves serious consideration. The situation where peacekeepers are continuously being asked to do more with less is unsustainable. UN peacekeeping, apart from being effective, is highly cost-effective. We need to act credibly to provide adequate resources to missions to effectively carry out their diverse mandates and put in place fair, realistic, and permanent mechanisms for review and updating of troop costs and COE reimbursements. Mr. Chairman, where capabilities do not match mandates, the Secretariat should frankly advise the Security Council on remedial measures, and these proposals should then be given due weight by the Council. Rapid deployment and standby capabilities are often considered essential to modern peacekeeping, but this also requires resources. The safety and security of peacekeepers should continue to be an overriding priority. Commensurate with their participation, representation of major TCCs at leadership and senior levels in the field and at headquarters should be increased. And finally, a capability-driven approach would enhance the effectiveness of missions. Professional, well-trained, and well-equipped peacekeepers are at the core of this approach. Partnerships with TCCs, PCCs, and with regional and sub-regional organizations must be harnessed in this light. Mr. Chairman, the world today is beset with numerous, often intractable conflicts and urgent security challenges. Their complicated political and humanitarian dimensions are much harder to navigate and address than ever in the past. Change is certainly necessary, but that change should not end up transforming peacekeeping into something that it is not and should not be, which is becoming a party to any conflict. The lines that maintain the critical distinction between a blue helmet and a combatant are critical and must be assiduously guarded. In conclusion, let me assure you that Pakistan's commitment to peacekeeping remains unflinching. Despite our security challenges at home, we continue to provide peacekeepers as we consider this our international responsibility and our duty. So you can count on our steadfast support for this, our common enterprise. I thank you.
I thank the Permanent Representative of Pakistan for her statement, and I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Georgia.